So if we look at women, what are the top causes in women? Obviously, you kind of mentioned a couple. You mentioned the birthing process, especially if you've had a vaginal birth. What
Yeah.
else for women?
So you know what? Even women that have not had babies can have pelvic floor issues. And so
Mm,
for women, the pelvis and the head, neck, and shoulders are the top two areas where we hold our tension and our stress. All right. And so just by virtue of that, the holding or the guarding can over time create dysfunction. So when we hold, think about watching a scary movie, or those of us that live
yeah,
in a place that has weather and seasons, you slide in your vehicle on a patch of ice, everything gets guarded. Some of us, unbeknownst to just our consciousness, live like that subconsciously. We're guarded for lots of different reasons. There could be past trauma. As a young teenage girl, you're trying to zip up those jeans and make your body look as small as you possibly
right.
can. All of those are contributing factors to pelvic floor health in women. And the other thing that I want to touch on here too is, because a lot of women live in this higher anxiety state, we actually stop breathing with the main muscle of respiration called our diaphragm, and we start breathing with
Right.
these little muscles of our neck, right?
Right.
What does that do? It plays into our sympathetic nervous system. She must be in danger, right? So now we have cortisol and adrenaline,
Mm,
called upon when it's not really necessary. And the body starts living in this constant state of fight, flight, freeze, when those moments are meant to be momentary, and then we move on to our parasympathetic, the rest and digest. So in my practice, that's what I see a lot of, is those cases where women they can't even think back to what happened. Was it one moment?
wow.
Usually not. It's usually these layers and layers and layers that end up being, I coughed and sneezed a bit, or I was having a glass of wine with girlfriends and we laughed our butts off and I wet my pants, right? Or I've got this pelvic floor pain and I'm losing connectivity with my partner, because those intimate, beautiful moments are now becoming, terrible, pain-ridden moments where I feel so disconnected from my body. Oh, but I guess that's what being a woman needs, right? So that's the big problem.
That makes sense. And your background is you're a Pilates instructor. So how did you were you already into Pilates and doing that before pelvic floor became a big issue in your practice? Or was Pilates essentially something that you sought out to kind of help fix the pelvic floor issue after the fact?
Yeah, you know what? Pilates was my vehicle for healing my own body. In my early 20s, I lived with undiagnosed digestive pain. I was in 2 years into my medical journey, was told that the pain was in my head. I was seeking attention. And the 11 daily
Mm,
medications I was on weren't helping at all. And I found Pilates. And within 16 weeks, I was off all my medication.
wow.
And I found this beautiful connection to my body. I healed my pain, wanted to teach and other people what I learned, started teaching out of my home as a hobby while I was a business consultant. And the business just grew and grew and grew until I opened up my own studio. It included an integrated health therapies clinic, chiro, physio, massage, naturopathic medicine, osteopathy, so that we could teach our patients and clients that the body is not a one-trick pony.